Hey, everybody, welcome to the Unpack Podcast. I'm your host, William J. Marshall. I'm so grateful to come right where you're at, where you might be in the morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is. I'm so grateful that you took the time to spend a little, a brief moment with myself. I am the host of the Unpack Podcast. And what our goal and our platform it allows us to talk about the any and every topic that you can imagine under the sun. That's our objective. We're not afraid to unpack and to approach and to deal with real issues, real live issues that are going on in all of our lives, societally, family, maritally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, no matter what it is. There's no topic that we will not unpack. And so I'm grateful for you taking the time to spend with me here just for the next few moments. Just let me just do this and make this slight adjustment. Okay, I'm better now. Okay, so we are grateful. I'm grateful for Church Talk Radio. Shout out to the staff of Church Talk Radio. This is an awesome opportunity for every person under the sun to connect with a platform that's bigger than you, bigger than your own world, your own orbit. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity to share with you what I'm led to share. All right. So tonight or today or whatever time you're catching this podcast, I am led to deal with holiday grief, event grief. I am a grief manager or a grief specialist, if you may. I deal with this all day, and my whole life does not revolve around grief. But I believe that this is a topic or this is a matter that everyone need at some point in their life to talk about grief. You can grieve and not even know you're in grief, right? You can have all kinds of things going on in your mind and in your heart and not even be aware that you are sincerely grief. You're sincerely grieving, if I may. So let's deal with this holiday topic of what goes on in this time of the year. I want to first address, let me just talk to all Christians and all believers. And I would that as you come in, that you would hit the share button. Yes, let's unpack some real truths as to what goes on around holiday or event time. These are major, major, major times for people. And so many times the hustle and bustle in this season. This Friday coming, Thursday is Thanksgiving. And then Friday is what's called Black Friday. The streets are going to be full. The malls and stores are going to be full. People are traveling and finishing up on their meals from that Thursday, the day prior. There is a lot of movement going on in our city, in our cities, in our states, in our country. There's a lot of mobility going on. There's a lot of people who are traveling, a lot of families that are getting together, a lot of food that's going to be cooked, a lot of wonderful things and new memories are going to be forged, a lot going on. This week is the kickoff of a series of holidays, observances, special days simultaneously, and it's kicking off. Uh, we have Thanksgiving. Less than a month from there is that particular occasion is Christmas. A few days later is New Year's. Then we have a month after that, Valentine's Day. And then you have a couple of months after that, Resurrection Sunday or Easter. Then you have Mother's Day and then Father's Day. Notice all the holidays that I mentioned, all the observances. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day, Resurrection Sunday, Mother's Day, and then you have Father's Day. These are very significant days. And I mentioned all the hustle and bustle on all those days. Thanksgiving, these are the two most benevolent, graceful days in our country: the turkey and the gift. These two observances are major in every community, whether it's a suburban community or an urban community. It is huge. People who would not normally talk or invite people to their homes or into their homes or go somewhere or go to somebody else's space, it's happening. It's great because you have people who are legitimately um, helping people, serving people. You have corporations and companies that are legitimately partnering with nonprofits and doing major, nice, wonderful things. I'm saying all this for a reason. Then you have Christmas, where Toys for Tots and people are gathering all kinds of gifts, and they're thinking of their fellow brother or sister. They're thinking now, they're mindful even more. There are so many people who love the opportunity to have a photo op, or to say I'm helping, or I'm feeding, or I'm clothing, or have acts of kindness that is consistently going on. It's a wonderful thing. I believe it's awesome. It really is. But let's unpack. Let's go a little deeper. After Thanksgiving, after Christmas, after the New Year's, Valentine's Day, you have Resurrection Sunday, and you have Mother's Day and Father's Day. Each and every one of those days, these holidays, these observances, there's someone who is not as happy or go lucky as the average person. There's someone who's dealing with grief slash loss for the first time in their life. As you come on, hit that share button and hit that share button to help somebody understand what's not being said in the backdrop. There's someone who is experiencing being without their mother, their father, their son, their daughter, their sister, their brother, their loved ones, their grandmother, grandfather, co-worker, whoever that person was to you or is to that person. They are experiencing grief for the first time. This is the first time in their life someone is experiencing Thanksgiving without their mother or father. This is the first time in their life someone is going through Christmas without a job. That's grief. Without a car, that's grief. Someone is going through these holidays who can't walk, who may be recovering from a stroke. Their cognitive ability is shot, gone. And many times we can go through life not even thinking about that person, because the average grief that we find out about somebody else, it trends very shortly now. It trends very shortly now. So I'm encouraging you, the person who is listening to this, let's unpack that, because there are and there is holiday trauma, holiday grief, or event trauma or event grief. Birthdays, anniversaries, all of these things and these important days matter to someone. And just because someone smiles and show up, just because someone is consistent on their job, on their post, just because that mom and dad shows up for the children, just because that sibling shows up for their other sibling, just because the son and daughter show up for their dad and mom, or both dad and mom is gone, or they just show up in general, does not mean that they're not hurting. does not mean that they're not lonely, does not mean that they're not having moments when they break down. And many times strong people conceal. Many times people who are strong, they're still giving. They're expecting to give. They show up, and that's a part of their therapy. I'm asking every person who's hearing this to be mindful and empathic in this hour, in this date, in this time. These two holidays, especially one of my favorite days or seasons in the world or in time, is Christmas season. I love the hustle and bustle. I love the smell of Christmas. I love the look and the decor. I love window shopping or shopping in general. I love how people are mindful of people. And I believe that as Christians, those who are following Jesus Christ, and we honor our Jewish brothers and sisters, our Islamic brothers and sisters. And if you notice, on their sacred days, they do not allow anybody to merchandise their days. You will never see a Rosh Hashanah blowout sale at Walmart, Amazon, eBay. You'll never see a Ramadan blowout sale. You'll never, ever see anybody merchandising the Jewish holidays, any of them, observances. You will never, no one makes money. No corporation make trillions of dollars off of them. They refuse to. They make the main thing the main thing. Same thing with our Islamic brothers and sisters. They're not allowing it. You may ask and wonder, here it is, we are Christ-like. And I do not, and I repeat, I do not have a bah humbug on me. I love this time. I love giving. However, before I buy a gift, before I put up a tree, before I make a snowman, before I sing about Rudolph, which is a fictitious character anyway, before I do any of that, I remember the purpose. I do not celebrate baby Jesus because he didn't die a baby. Just like I don't celebrate baby George Washington and baby Abe. No, I don't. Baby Martin Luther the King. Martin Luther King. I don't. I celebrate him as a full God, a complete God in the flesh. As that infant that he was in the womb of his mother, he was still 100% creator, 100% God, Elohim, as a baby, right? And he took on the form. I celebrate who he is, but I also remember why he came. Between October and January, probably mid-January, people are the most depressed. Let's unpack that. People are the most depressed around this season. This is the most time when drugs that deal with medication that deals with suppressing or uplifting, the prescriptions are at an all-time high. People are suicidal around this time. Why? Why is this going on? Why does this take place? I've read statistics after statistics, studies after studies. And of course, this isn't going to be talked about because the merchants are expecting to bounce back. Our economy is challenged now. Our economy now, because of the tariffs and all these other things that are going on, things are skyrocketing, things are high, but people are still shopping. But then there are some people who are really, really challenged, because they're depressed, suicidal, manic depressive, because they don't have money to give. That's one major issue. They don't have money to buy products, buy their children the latest and the greatest, money to buy their boo thing, their loved one, what they've been asking, what they need. There are people who are in the hole, are purposefully, intentionally going into the hole to fulfill a need and a want for their loved ones. I get it. I was one of those. So I'm very, very empathic to that person who was challenged with performing financially, maxing out credit cards, robbing Peter to pay Paul. The mortgage is going to be late. Car note's going to be late. Car insurance is going to be late. Rent is going to be late. All of these things are going to be late because people decide to buy gifts. Then there are people who are so depressed because this is the first time in this season of their life they are going through these holidays, back to back to back to back to back holidays, special days and events without their mother, father, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife for the first time in their life. And because we can be so busy, we overlook, don't consider, because they have a bounce back. Someone who is the empath, someone who is the consistent one, someone who is known as the strong one in your family, strong one in your group, your clan, your tribe, however you want to call it. That person is known, oh, they'll be all right. Not even considered. But I want us all to consider slowing down and being mindful of the person who is consistent in your life. Be mindful of the person who always go the extra and make things happen. That person who is now suffering in silence. I pray that you will discern who's who around you, who's suffering and crying, and they're so used to just going and having people around them not to even consider them. They're so used to that. That's the way of life. They have no expectation from their sons and their daughters, their brothers and their sisters, their husband or their wife, their mother or their father, because they're the strong one. Oh, she'll be all right. Oh, he'll be all right. Oh. These are real, legitimate issues and challenges that so many people are suffering in the dark, suffering while moving with the smile and showing up pleasant, showing up as they always do, giving, depended upon, faithful, but broken that people around them just are entitled. They may not know it. You may not be intentionally entitled or displaying that type of behavior, but it's there. It's there. It's a real thing. Holiday grief, event grief, birthday, anniversary grief is a real thing. This is the first. And there may be somebody who's going through the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth year without a loved one that they were deeply in love with. When somebody grieves like that, that speaks to a real legitimate love for persons, for that person. It was rooted and sincerely loved. And then there are people who are still, watch this, battling regret because they didn't do right. They didn't make it happen. They didn't follow through. They were so disconnected, estranged from mom, dad, brother, sister. And now they're wearing this. They're walking around depressed or in that level of regret. I'm speaking because I believe that the Holy Spirit has have ordained me and assigned me to this moment because there's someone who's going to bounce out, snap out, be healed and set free, along with delivered from that spirit of regret. You can't change it, but you need to know that this platform gives voice to that, gives understanding to that, gives support to you. And you may be dealing with the grief of it, may be dealing with all that did not happen. Just note that God knows, God loves, and God cares. Hey, Laverne, blessings to you. I see you there. I really do love you, Laverne. I'm grateful for your life. Um, Grateful for seeing you on this past Saturday. It was great, 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 great. Your pastor is my friend. So, holiday grief, Thanksgiving. It's only a day. You do know that. The stuffing is going to wear off. The turkey's going to be all eaten up. Fried chicken, fish, catfish, mac and cheese. Ooh, yams, collard greens, cabbage, rice. Mm, mm, cranberry sauce. All that's going to eventually be pooped out. Did I say poop? I think I did say poop. Yeah, somebody's going to gain excessive weight. Somebody's high blood pressure is going to go up. Cholesterol is going to go up. Someone's going to cheat. It's going to be a lot. Malax moments. Then I'm not even talking about the desserts, the pies, the cobbler, ooh, peach cobbler, apple cobbler, ooh, sweet potato pie, coconut custard pie, big pound cakes and red velvet cakes, cupcakes and cream pies. I mean, there's going to be some baking going on in the next few days. Preparation is going on now. How to clean them and cook them right. There's a process. Somebody gonna do it. You gonna cook, Laverne? She says she's gonna cook a lot. I get it. I get it, and it's wonderful to make new events. This hour, this season, is a time for our awareness to get rebirth, reborn, so that our sense of need and urgency for the 6 areas that Jesus Christ speaks to, that we are responsible for. 6 areas, 6 objectives that Christ speaks to us about. 6. 6 is the number of man, human, Homo sapien. 6 is the number of man. God made man on the 6th day, right? He's intentional about us. He's intentional about why the 6th day. The 6th book in the Old Testament is the name of a man. All right. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, right? The name of a man. In the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Roman. It is not by happenstance that God made man to be on the 6th day, and what that means. We know that it has some wonderful connotations and some wonderful meanings to this. All right, 666 is the number of man. And I know we superstitious people, we know it's the number of the mark of the beast, and the mark of the beast is already here, y'all. The spirit of the mark, the spirit of the beast is already here. You're going to swipe that mark every time you go into the store for those who are not using cash. The mark of the beast, the currency, is already in existence. It's been here forever, for a good while. The word tells us in Revelation that we will not be able to buy or sell without the mark. And part of the mark and that system is dealing with what's called bar codes. Everything we have, everything we buy has a code, a barcode right here. See that barcode? In the supermarket, in the drugstore, everything we buy, from clothes to condiments to personal hygiene to everything, from car parts, your medical identification, that social security number becomes a bar. It becomes a profile. It knows everything about us. It tracks. Soon you type in something that you want on Google, eBay, Amazon, you inquire, you're going to start seeing it. You're going to start seeing phone calls, and they know when it's time for women to stock up on their maxi pads. They know when it's the time to buy new toothpaste, to buy deodorant. They know it's the intelligence that's out here, the AI intelligence. It's already here. It's worth saying it enough. I said a moment ago, you, me alike, will be swiping our cards. MasterCard is not really heard of too much, but Visa is. VISA. VI, again, in the Roman numeral is 6. At the bottom of the clock, if it's a Roman numeral clock, VI is 6. You can't change that. That's in the Roman numeral. S in the Greek, I'm spelling out Visa. S in the Greek is 6. Look it up for yourself. Look it up for yourself. A in the Hebrew alphabet is 6. Visa, VI 6, S 6, A 6, VI Roman numeral 6, S Greek 6, A Hebrew 6. I just spelled out Visa. We swipe, it's connected to all of your accounts. Anything that you sell or pay online, it comes out. It's amazing. W, the letter W in the Latin is 6. In the Latin, it is 6. We log on www. We log on, we log into, it's part of it. It's the way it is. We're a part of it. We're integrated in this system. This day, up until Thursday, people are going to be spending a lot of money on food. The tariffs drove everything up, and guess what's not going to happen? It's not going to come down anymore. They're not going to lower the prices when they're not. Milk is going to stay the same. Egg is going to stay the same. They may not go up anymore, but they already got it's price gouging every single place. And so, but then we conform and we adjust. We conform and we adjust. This podcast is about informing and alarming us. And tonight, today, whatever time you're listening to this, this is about you being mindful. Today's topic, this topic of holiday grief, event grief, birthday, anniversary grief that someone is going through for the first time. And many times you can be, you don't mean to be, we don't mean to be creatures or people that overlook or not sensitive to what goes on in somebody else's life. But we forget. We just go on to the next. This is why I was telling somebody earlier, I don't care what business come out about you, me, whoever else. It trends and then they go on to the next. This is such a trendy hour that we live in. Nothing sticks too long. Nothing. It's attract and distract. That's what we do. That's what we live in. Important issues. They are highlighted for a day, a week, a month, maybe, and then it's forgotten about. We are people that are led to the slaughter through mass media. It's not by happen chance that we are swayed. If every news media put out a story and it's the same story, we will forget about what happened last week. All we'll hear is whatever the headlines strategically, intentionally produces for us to dumb down real issues, real challenges, real struggles. It's amazing. I sit back now and not out of arrogance, but I laugh at how gullible society is now. It is. And some of us and many of us are woke. We're woke to it. But we're woke to it just to get conformed and consumed in our own orbit and in our own world. Because lifing is real, paying bills is real. I often say you can have things on your mind that are not sinful, that are not evil or wicked. You can have your relationship on your mind that's not sinful, your children, your bills, your health, your community on your mind, and they're not sinful, but they can be weighted. They can be quite heavy, right? So holiday grief, somebody is going through this for the first time in their life. First time their mother, father's birthday, and they're not around for the first time in their life. People, it's Capricorn season. It's Sagittarius season coming up next. I don't know all these signs and these seasons, and I love it. I love it. And so, but somebody again, today is the 24th of November. Somebody is celebrating a birthday and anniversary of someone who's no longer here. You hear people say at funerals, at home celebrations of life, if you need me, call me. I'm going to be here for you. That may be true to some degree, but many times people don't follow up and check up on someone who has lost something of significance. Grief is not, again, the loss of a physical human being. Grief can be the loss of a relationship, a divorce, a separation. It could be the loss of a job, the repossession of a car, the loss of a house or apartment because you had to downsize, the loss of a pet. Everybody grieves and differently, but there's someone who is experiencing something for the first time. So I'm challenging you to understand and to slow down and to listen to your heart. Allow God to show you who may just need a hug or I hear you. How are you holding up? What is this like to you? They may tell you something fictitious. Oh, I'm all right. They may be fine. Their trauma response may be fine. I know we've talked about 5 different trauma responses, but I added 2 more. You have the fight, flight, fawn, freeze, flop, fine, and forget, right? So you have 7 trauma responses: the fight, flight, right? People will get up and leave. That's flight. Fight, they combative, deflective, projective, quick-witted, sarcastic, cynical, bat, bat, bat. Slap that game is real. So you got the fight. You have the fawn. Fawn is that person who want to please everybody, need affirmation, need love, they're doing and going the extra mile while hurting themselves. The fawner is real in this hour. Then you have the flop. I'm done. Flopped in it. You have the freeze. Someone who's just so overwhelmed that now they're numb, they're stuck. Can't even move. Stuck. that numbing, that freeze is a real place. It's a fog that people go through, be it daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, certain times, certain things that will spawn that into play, certain songs, certain events or holidays, flop, freeze. Then you have the fine, Fine. The fine is the person who say they're all right, but they're hurting. I'm okay. I'm gonna need help. This ain't hurting me. Yes, it is. They won't admit it. They won't give space to it. You're not going to know, but and I pray that you check in on that man, that woman who at times who you know is hurting, but they're saying that they're not. And sometimes, hey, we're not going to press ourselves or force ourselves. I do not, I do not condone that. I do not like any man or any woman who don't, or any person who don't respect boundaries. Everybody process different. Some people don't want to be around people. Some people are legitimately okay. Some people are legitimately strong and legitimately unpack their processes. There are people who are, and there should be the respect of boundaries. When there's a lack of boundaries, there's a lot of judgment going on. There's a lot of misplaced judgment. There's a lot going on when you or that person around you is given unsolicited advice. It really, like, where did you get that from? What makes you think I'm not? What makes you think I said? What makes you think I'm? That's what it can bring up. I've been given unsolicited advice from people, and I've given a ton of unsolicited advice. Woo! That is a real thing. All right. Try not to give unsolicited advice. Ask permission if you can say what's on your heart to that person. Ask permission. You ask. Give them the opportunity to know, number one, that I respect you enough to ask you, can I tell you or give you how I feel? Because it may be a good time for you, but not for them. And if it's about them, if it's something that you want to say to them about them, well, it's them. I may not want to hear it right now. That goes for the husband to the wife to the husband, the parent to the adult child or teenage, preteen. Just being sensitive to boundaries, and brother to brother, sister to sister, coworker to coworker, regardless of, just being sensitive. So we're going to Thanksgiving. Somebody's grieving. Christmas. It's tough for somebody. It's really challenging. These 2 holidays, and then New Year's, crossing over into a new dimension, a new season, a new plug, a change of guard for the first time in 2026 without dad, mom, the second time without their son or daughter, third, fourth time. Somebody this year lost someone, not due to tragedy, but they slipped away medically. There's somebody on the earth whose child was abducted. Human trafficking is still going on. Somebody is dealing with something for the first time ever, and it doesn't feel good. They're smiling through it. They're showing up to work, church, family, but hurting. This podcast tonight, today, this morning, whatever time you listen to, is designed for us to be specifically and intentional with being mindful of somebody else's grief. So we move from New Year's to Valentine's Day. That is a whole other grief. Somebody for the first time is not going to be with their boo thing, their husband, their wife, of a year, 5 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, 35 years, 50 years, 70 years. However, it's the first time that they are going to be a love day without their significant other for the first time, second, third, fourth, fifth time. We don't know how long it takes someone to grieve. There are people who love that deep, and we can't rush anybody through their process. Girl, man, boy, you need to get over it. The worst thing you can say. I've learned as a grief specialist and chaplain um, not to say certain things when people are lost, going through loss. Oh, your loved one's in a better place. God took their best. They're planted in the garden of God. Those are some of the worst things you can say to somebody. I feel they are. And then there's some Christians who that's the norm. That's how they talk. That's the language of their community. But then there are plenty of people that doesn't work for more than you think. Those colloquial terms and terms of endearment, those phrases, just doesn't work. The best gift you can give somebody who's going through any level of grief right now is your presence, not words. They just know you're there. Your arms, if need be, your hugs, your silence. You giving them space, but yet present. That's a wonderful gift. It's not always about words. Many times people who want to run sadness out of the room or want to change the trajectory of the room, you got to get up out of this. It's them that's uncomfortable. They're the person who's trying to run sadness and grief out of the room. It's because of their uncomfortability in many cases. They don't know what to do or how to handle it. So I'm uncomfortable. Let me change this. I'll never forget in my residency, my supervisor, Mary Brown, I love her. I'm grateful to her. We had watched Inside Out, the Disney Pixar movie. It was probably one of the greatest eye-opening movies that Disney ever made, but it was so informative. Every adult, every leader need to watch it from beginning to the end because we'll run sadness out. Sadness was the star, but you need to watch it. Sadness is a part of the process. Many of us will not eat salt by itself, pepper by itself, just ground pepper. But those two ingredients added at the right time with the right amount makes a world of a difference. Certain seasonings in your cupboard right now, on your spice rack, you will not eat it straight out the jar. But when used, the proper doses, the proper measurement, it hooks up that flavor, that meal that you are cooking, and it's there. It's not you have uncommon ingredients and you have common ingredients. You have uncommon spices and then you have plenty of common spices. But it's there. Each spice adds its own zest, its own zeal, its own flavor. Each spice has its own intentionality for whatever outcome you're trying to produce. But it's there. It's significant. And so silence is probably your presence. They're knowing that you're there, you're empathically there. And when they're ready to talk, or if you're skilled enough to ask the qualifying questions at the right time, you can help people, right? And we know that that's the case. I'm not going to go too far in that because there's a lot to learn about ourselves and how we manage grief, how we manage other people's grief. So there are people who on Valentine's Day who don't have a boo. Never really had a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a mate. That's grief. To be 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old and can't find a date. I hate Valentine. You hate being alone. That's what's going on. So it's not just Valentine's Day, a little butt naked angel telling you when to buy flowers and roses and candy. That's a real event. That's a real holiday. People are grieved around that time because they don't have a loved one or someone that they're in love with. It's a real common feeling. It's real common. I can say a lot to that, but I'm not. Then you have Resurrection Sunday. First time somebody's going to be without their loved one on Easter. Then you have Mother's Day. First time someone's going to be out without mom, grandma, auntie, or mother figure in their life. First time, second time, third time, 10th time. Then you have Father's Day. First time. I purposely and intentionally brought this topic up because I want and desire for we as a community, we as an African American, Latino, brown community should be mindful of these events and what goes on in the lives of others. Just because somebody is not displaying their pain does not mean they're in pain. They're not in pain. Just because someone else is not displaying their despair does not mean they're not in despair. And for y'all real deep, spooky, hot, overly top spiritual people who just want to make everything about speaking in an unknown tongue, it's a very insensitive moment. Before you judge somebody in their state, in their sackcloth and ashes that they may be in, before you judge them, ask the Holy Spirit to show you how to minister, how to be present. You don't have to fix nobody. One of the greatest deliverances that I ever received in my life. I scream when I get good, when I just reflect. One of the greatest deliverances, thank you, Laverne, that I ever received in my life is when I got the revelation that I don't have to fix anyone. Phew. That is a wonderful breakthrough for anybody who's challenged with putting your 2 cent, 5 cent, 50 cent, $1.50, $2, $5, $10, your $1 self. You don't have to fix anybody. You don't have to, it's not your job. It's not your assignment. That's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself, to relieve yourself from that duty of trying to figure it out, trying to fix, trying to readjust, trying to realign. It's not your assignment. You're not God. That's why you're worn out, or that's why you're depicted as a judge. That's why people tolerate you and not really celebrate you, if you're that person. Listen, I have to go. I would that you would please share this. I am not rambling, or this is very intentional. This space, this time, this moment was being mindful of the grief that somebody is going through. Our hustle and bustle don't speak to it. Our busyness, our flow don't speak to it. Our daily activity, in many cases, weekly activity, bi-daily, by day activity, don't speak to it. But be mindful. And also assess before you talk, before you put your mouth on someone. Assess. I'm going to talk about the power of assessment during our next podcast, our next unpack. What the lack of assessment does when you only hear one side, when you only see it from one view. To fully assess means to look at things from a panoramic perspective, all angles. Hey, Pastor Hayes, blessings to you, my friend. So good to hear you and see you and see you. We have to get together again. It's been a long time. Can't wait to see you. But it's imperative and important for us to understand the power of grief, how someone is grieving, even though they're smiling, even though they're moving, they're going on with their life. Many times we're not as mindful as to what goes on in these holidays. I named 7 holidays in a row, back to back, in many cases, maybe a month or two gap. But you have Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day, Easter, Resurrection, Mother's Day, Father's Day. Those are 7 major back to back to back to back to back. Somebody is hurting. Somebody is dealing with this for the first time, second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time. And you can't tell somebody when to heal, when to get up, how, because you have the 5 stages of grief, um, which is anger, denial, bargaining, reasoning, um, depression, and then acceptance, which had time to deal with all 5 of those, but those are real stages. And there's no set order on any of those stages. No set order on how long you're gonna be angry. You can be angry and then happy then within the same hour, or okay in the same hour. Angry, anger, denial, bargaining means I wish I would have, maybe if I would have done this, maybe if I would have, it brings regret. Then you have depression, and then you have acceptance. No set order, but give yourself space and grace to heal. God bless you. I gotta go. Again, hit that share button. I pray God's blessings. Happy holiday to each and every one of you. But let's share this. Let's get this message out. Be well.